Purpose. I have traveled the world looking for it, but now so that I found mine, I thought I would help you find yours. Your purpose is the reason you're here. It's the reason you wake up, set goals, and look into the future. It's a mission you have to accomplish that will not only give your lifetime a meaning, but also impact the whole world. Simply said, it is your biggest life goal that guides your biggest and smallest actions. Every single human being on earth has a purpose. You have one too, and you're also the only person who decides whether you're going to fulfill it or not. It's time for you to choose. Will your life have a meaning, or will it disappear in history like billions of others?
In late 2021, I experienced living with no purpose. In October, I quit my long-term passion, and because I had nothing to do instead, I got lost in the world of endless distractions. For over 2 months, I had been wandering through life with no reason to live. The worst part about it was that I had already been watching self-improvement videos. I just didn't want to improve my life, as it had no clear direction or meaning anyway.
Life with no purpose is worthless. Why do you want to improve yourself? Why do you work so hard? Why do you want to be healthy? Why do you even wake up? People with no purpose can't answer those questions, and that's why they end up depressed. They sacrifice their future for the sake of instant pleasures because they don't see any meaning in their life anyway. So if you want to be different to them, you have to be able to answer all the why questions, and the answer to them is your purpose.
Luckily, my situation changed in December 2021 when for some reason my Instagram posts went viral, and as a result I began to take my social media career more seriously. Preaching the message of self-improvement through filmmaking ended up being my purpose. It gave me a reason to improve myself and resist distractions, which turned my life around quicker than I could ever imagine. 2022 turned out to be the year that changed everything for me. I grew to hundreds of thousands of followers on social media, made many new high-quality friendships, and got into a relationship with a girl that I liked for a long time. Now, even though I've made a lot of progress since 2022, I'm still living with the same purpose that changed my life's direction from straight down to straight up, and it has to be the most beautiful experience ever. All of it sounds cool, fun and easy when I tell this story, but in reality it was not that the first thing I ever tried turned out to be my purpose. It was actually quite the opposite.
You see, what I mentioned in the story took part in 2021 when I was 15, but earlier in life I had been that one kid with every passion possible. I would try a certain skill or business model for a year or two and get pretty good at it, but I would never find anything that I would really love to dedicate my life to.
My whole life was basically a big series of trial and error, and it was only after many years that I found something that was really close to my soul. But this brings me to our first lesson. Before I give you any practical advice on how to find your purpose, I have to tell you this harsh truth that you do not want to hear.
In order to find your purpose, you first have to stop watching YouTube, go out into the real world and actually experience life. You have to put in the effort to try out different business models or skills again and again until you finally find something that suits you. Because the only way you're going to be able to tell whether you like something or not is going to be by comparing it to other things. Remember that the more you put in, the more you get out. So the more effort you put into experiencing different things, the more sure you're going to be about your purpose.
Now, a practical step I want you to do is find something that you would really want to try. It probably popped up in your head literally right now, and set a goal to try it within 30 days from now.
Such goal is going to prevent you from making a mistake I did back in the day. I wanted to start this YouTube channel, but for some reason I procrastinated on it for over 6 months. Then when I finally started it, I liked it more than I expected to, and the rest, as you may know, is history.
Second, the most practical method of finding your purpose that you're going to find on the internet is what I call the method of overlapping circles.
What I want you to do is write down a few answers to each of the following questions. Just make sure that you can see the answers. What are you passionate about? So basically, what can you talk about for hours? What do you research? What do you search for on YouTube? What books do you read? And what would you be fine with doing long term? So look at what you have written down before and find something something that you could do for a living long term. Now, underline answers that repeat in all three circles. In such design, they should be in the middle. That's why I call it the method of overlapping circles.
Let's say you've got swimming in there. Maybe you can't do that for a living as a full-time athlete, but if you've got content creation as one or two answers, maybe you can create videos about swimming. Maybe you like teaching people, you can start swimming classes. Or maybe you're more of an entrepreneur, you can start a swimming brand. There are many possible outcomes, but this method is going to show you that you may have already found your purpose and that you did not have to watch this video in the first place.
Many people live their lives thinking they haven't found anything for themselves, while in reality they just don't want to admit that they have because it would require them to do something uncomfortable. And if you still believe that you haven't found the answer you were looking for, go back to step 1 and explore the world.
The weird phenomenon when it comes to following your purpose is that despite the fact that you love it, you don't feel like doing it. Because even though I really enjoy creating videos, I don't feel like scripting, editing and filming for hours every single day.
Pursuing your purpose is not exciting at most times, but those nights when you lay down to sleep, knowing that on that day you did everything you could to get closer to your mission, give you a specific type of satisfaction that you will never get anywhere else. Those who have experienced it will understand that every moment of discomfort that comes with following your purpose is absolutely worth it.
But what is the most difficult on this journey is resisting distractions, and not only in the form of instant gratification like video games or social media, but also productive things that you could be doing instead. I've recently had a moment when I got really interested in dropshipping. I had already decided which products I would sell and all the other important stuff, but then I stopped and asked myself, does this contribute to my purpose? It didn't. I got distracted by something that seemed like a possibility of quick income, but it was completely irrelevant to what I dedicated myself to for the past 1.5 years. And luckily I only got distracted for a few days, but I could end up in a situation where I would fail dropshipping after a couple of months, and I would also be a couple of months behind what I was already good at. In order to not get distracted by both degenerate and productive things when following your purpose, you can set it as your phone's wallpaper, you can put sticky notes all around your house and constantly set new goals to remember what journey you're on.
But what you have to understand is that the journey never ends. You're Sysiphus, finding a purpose and following it until you fulfill it, because then you have to find a new purpose and repeat the same process again. Your stone will always fall back down, because as a man you need something to strive for every day of your life. But remember that the quote goes, "One must imagine Sysiphus happy." And indeed, life with purpose is the most colorful, driven, and satisfying life you could possibly live. So even though you're still on the bottom of your mountain, I want you to make the #1 priority in your life to get that stone up there. Go out into the real world to gain experience, find your purpose, follow it, and repeat the process until your time on earth ends. You've got the whole world in front of you, and it is waiting for you to conquer it. Will your life have a meaning? Or will it blend into the history like billions of others?